All right, good morning. I'll try to get this video up today. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to play with the Gtechniq Ultimate Bike Care Kit, which is now in the store, and it is right now, depending on when you're watching this, but for the month of February and half of March in 2022, we're doing a giveaway on my E92 M3, and I need to sell stuff in order to pay for that car, and so Ultimate Bike Care Kit is part of the package. We'll have the first 100 or so. Should be here first week of March, something like that, if you buy it. But this package is $250, and I think it's pretty freaking sweet. I'm gonna open it up here again. I already unboxed it once, took some photos of it, so we can do it in the store. But I haven't played with any of it yet, and so today we're gonna tell you my methodology on why I've chosen this. We're gonna at least wash my Yeti, which hasn't been cleaned in a long time, so I want to play with some of this stuff. Now, my Yeti has Invisiframe and also has Gtechniq CSL Exo on the Invisiframe, so we'll see how that's held up. I think I've only maybe washed it once since I did that, but the idea of coating and caring for your bike and doing the work is just like with a car. It makes the cleanup easier, so you put in some effort into the initial sort of setup, especially if it's a new bike, and then you don't have to work as hard to keep it looking that way. So let's open this up, show you what's in here, and we will, I guess, get to learn how to use it together. I'm telling you, it's pretty cool. You know, I can usually tell almost immediately, like if something shows up and I stop whatever it is I'm doing and I'm going and start playing with it, then I know that I'm onto something. I know that it's something I'm probably going to like. And forgive the crazy, or I guess I don't know if there's arrogance in this, but if I like it, it's probably pretty good. I mean, I'm a professional buyer of things and unboxer of things and playing with things person. And so if I like it, that must mean it's pretty freaking cool, because I live this bizarro dream world where I'm playing with the coolest stuff in the world, at least to me. And so if it appeals to me, it's probably going to appeal to a lot of other people too, because I'm hard to please. So here's Bike Clean. So Bike Clean is a multi-purpose cleaner. It says removes oil and grime with ease. I would assume that a lot of these products are repurposed, right? So, you know, this is kind of like I talk about all the time on my cars, like my E92 M3 that I'm rebuilding so I have an Interlagos one with 800 miles on it that I just bought for a lot of money, and I have my Le Mans, which I bought 3 years ago, and it's set up great. You know, the exhaust, the suspension. So I'm going to replicate all that stuff on my 800-mile car. And there's one best way to do it, or one way that appeals to me so much. And so I would guess that some of these, like the ceramic quick coat, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to ask Stuart's going to come here and visit, who helped develop this with Rob Earl from Gtechniq in the UK. I'm guessing this is probably either some variant or maybe exactly C2V3, which is their auto paint sealant or topper for coating. So my guess is a lot of this stuff is going to be repurposed, slightly, maybe a formula tweak, and we'll get to the bottom of it. And people get so mad about that. But what I was looking for in cycling care, I am passionate about cars. I'm passionate about garages. I'm passionate about drawer organization and tools and stuff like that. There's certain levels of expertise and passion where I have to divert energy. I like mountain biking. It's not really mountain biking. I like trail riding here in Florida. I like doing that, but I don't love it. Like, it's not like my great life's passion. And so the reason why I think this kit can make sense for someone like me or you that maybe likes the stuff, likes cycling, likes bicycles, but maybe you're not totally sold out. Or let's say you're completely passionate and sold out about cycling, but you're not sold out about care, paint maintenance and things like that. Regardless, either one of those scenarios, I think that trusting and so putting off the decision making to a Gtechniq, I think makes a whole lot more sense than some company like Muck Off, or what is that stuff that I have? I bought some of this stuff here. I really only have 2 products. Yeah, Muck Off drivetrain cleaner, which is this. This is what I have. And then I have some Citrus Finish Line Citrus bike cleaner, bike chain degreaser. So these are the 2 products that I have. And then I've just used like GSF and things like that. I used or Adam's car shampoo when I was using that, and using like Kosh Chemi all-purpose cleaner to do it. I haven't invested the time in cycling care like I have in cars and other things. Okay, so here's what we got. So we've got our Bike Clean concentrate. So this is what this kit comes with for $250. I think it seems like a pretty decent deal because you're getting the ceramic as well. So today we're not going to use the ceramic coating. We'll talk about that in a second. So Bike Clean is some variant of an all-purpose cleaner, and because I'm guessing we're going to use this the most, you would probably need a concentrate, and so it looks like they're going to sell this. I don't know what the methodology or what the plan is for gallons and things like that. Whatever we have as an option in the larger size, I'm going to carry that as well. We will sell all of this stuff a la carte in the future as this product line comes out. But in the interim, we're going to just sell the whole package. I'm trusting them to curate this for me, which kind of goes against what I normally do. But we're just going to kind of use what they've sent us, and then maybe in the future we'll make some adjustments. And then you have drivetrain degreaser. So Bike Clean is for removing grime, and then so that's a multi-purpose cleaner, and then this is a more concentrated degreaser for your chain and drivetrain. So that'll be interesting to see the difference between these two and how that works. Tri-Clean, so this is for trainers and helmets. So this is for your gear, your shorts, for probably your seat, any fabrics, the inside of your helmet, and this is probably very similar to the Tri-Clean that they're using for cars as well. I guess it's the same thing. Then we have Bike Wash, which is a soap, pH neutral soap. I would assume doesn't say pH neutral, highly concentrated formula. So we would put this in our foam cannon. This is a small little thing, and we'll probably put this in the foam cannon. And then, of course, our topper, our ceramic quick coat. So we'll try this out as well. And it comes with a pad, and we'll see about this. It looks like they've kind of adopted. There's a lot of copies of the Microfiber Madness stuff. A lot of times these pads, they do too much microfiber and it gets too heavy. So we'll try out the pad. Microfiber wash pad. Has an inner foam core. And then I've got a couple of towels. So they're calling this a buff cloth. We have our little bristled brush. This looks like it could be really useful on the drivetrain. So I like this. This is different from my race glaze brush. I'm sure Gtechniq's having somebody make this for them. But the bristles are soft but stiffer than most brushes. Certainly stiffer than the what are those brushes? Detail Factory brushes that we sell in the store. And then this is smart to have a black towel because. So is this a double sewn? Is this a sewn together? Looks like it. This looks like a sewn together heavy towel. So I don't know how much I'll like this, but we'll just use this as it comes, and then from there. So we'll probably carry this kit, and then we'll carry the individual components, and I'll be sure to, as I use this stuff more, to tell you what I like best. So then this package here, so this is what you would want to do the work. So those of you, cycling enthusiasts that aren't into detailing, that haven't chased this stuff. So this is a ceramic coating, and it looks different than CSL. This looks much thicker. So this looks to be a 15 milliliter bottle. This is, I think, 70 or 80 bucks or something like that. And this comes with this package. And then it also comes with a couple of coating removal towels, and then comes with some gloves and an applicator. And this applicator, I think, would do really well on a bike. I tend to use suede applicators, but we'll cross this bridge maybe later this week or next week. We'll use this coating on somebody else's bike that isn't maintained, that hasn't been coated and set up. And then it also comes with, so this comes with a frame prep. So this would be your sort of isopropyl alcohol type solution, I would guess. And that's interesting. It says Gtechniq, Poland. Yeah, this is panel wipe for sure in there. It smells just like panel wipe. So an aggressive frame prep. Okay, let's get the bikes down and or bike down, and then let's start playing with this stuff. All right, people, I'm telling you, if you're watching this and you're into cycling, this is the freaking coolest thing. I get the sense from comments that people are having a hard time understanding this thing, but I'm telling you, this is the coolest freaking thing in a garage I've had or seen in a long time. It's a bike lift. So this is my one-up rack on the lift. We have the lift in the store, and I would, if you're into cycling, or if you just need some storage, you can see over in the corner there. Yeah, you can see it. I have the racks, which I just had for photos and trying out. But this is a cargo rack. You can put tires, you can put totes, you can put 300 pounds on this thing. You can put canoes and stuff like that. But this thing is the freaking coolest thing ever. Yeah. I don't think it gets much cooler than that. And for me, in this little garage here, this is not too little. This is 900 and something square feet. But to me, this setup, I just think it's freaking incredible. I think it's cool. I would highly, highly recommend, if you're building a garage and if you have road bikes or mountain bikes, you want this thing. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. The other thing that's coming very soon, that Tab from Top Shelf, who makes this thing, is I'm going to use my Park Tool stand to clean the bike. But he's going to put a receiver so that you could do bike maintenance, the seat clamp, which would be awesome. So this is a Yeti SB100. I took the dropper post off because, again, I'm just trail riding. I'm not doing any drops or anything like that. But this is let me put the camera down so you can see it. Just to maybe add a little bit of validity to what I'm doing here. So I am the slowest guy on the nicest bike. So this is a carbon SB100. I think it weighs about 19 or 20. No, it can't be that light. I think it's 20 something. But I have an ENVE carbon seat post, specialized saddle. I don't like, these are 760 millimeter bars. I'm going to go a little narrower, I think. There's a lot of tighter stuff on Santos. Santos Trailhead is actually really, really cool around here. But tubeless, these are the DT Swiss carbon wheel upgrade from Yeti, and then AXS. So we have SRAM AXS, which is electronic shifting, and then I have some Crank Brothers flats on here. For most of my cycling days, I've ridden clipped in. But on the Santos Trailhead, I find that I'm more comfortable and my feet go numb less. That's one of the problems I have with cycling, and then why I don't ride as much as I would like to, because my feet go numb, especially clipless. And so the flats tend to work really well for me. But this bike is legit. I think this is on the order of $12,000 or something like that when you factor in the $400 seat post. Yeah, it's you know, SRAM XO crank, and then Eagle with XX1 or XXX, yeah, XX1. So this has SRAM brakes, the SRAM levels. I actually prefer the Shimano XTRs, which I have on my Giant. But let's we can talk more about this as we're washing it. Let's get set up. So let's we'll set the bike up in the stand here. I have this Park Tool Professional stand, which I'm not a professional at all on any of this stuff with bikes, but I like them. I like them a lot. So we'll put this in. Need to go drivetrain out. Let's go drivetrain out. Let's see, can I do it this way? I think I have to. That'll work. It's drizzling out here. And let's rotate that a bit. Lock that in. That should be good. And let's bring it out a little bit here because the GT4 is sitting right there in the garage. Okay, that'll work. The only thing that this isn't the best, you probably shouldn't be washing on this stand. There's not stainless components. The pole, I think, looks like it's zinc plated. But a lot of this stuff doesn't take too kindly to water, but I don't really care. I'd rather wash it in comfort than not. So the other thing we're going to be using, which you cycling guys, or for your house and for your cars and for your sanity, you want this thing. This is my Obsessed Garage pressure washing setup, which you can get in my store. So let's get this thing ready to roll. So we're going to wash with our Mosmatic gun. So we have quick disconnects on here, and we're going to swap over. I'm going to do a 25-degree nozzle on this. So that's the 5.0. Here's my 25-degree 5.0 nozzle. I'm not going to need the wand because we're washing a bicycle. And so this, we're going to use the short gun. I've got the PP plug here, so pull that off. So this is the setup I'm going to be using. For those of you who are OG types who are not here from the cycling world, this is the OG hose, which I'm telling you, this is the hose you want for pressure washing. And just pull out some. Let's add a little drag so that my hose reel isn't dropping here. I don't think we need deionized water for this project. So once we have that on, let's open up our water. Turn on our pressure washer. And we're pressurized. Okay. Nice thing about Swiss Tracks is I can just set the gun on the ground and not scratch it up. All right, so let's set up our foam cannon here. Gosh, I don't know, I'm not very good at this anymore. I'm doing this myself. I normally have a camera person. Well, I'm here by myself shooting this. So let's put some bike wash in the foam cannon. I would assume that they're gonna make this in gallons. I would want this in a gallon. So I want 150 milliliters in the foam cannon. This is the world's most expensive funnel. Not the world's, but most expensive detailing funnel in the world. And so I'll put my funnel on so that I can quick disconnect. And my friend Rusty makes this for me. Him and his company Arms Helicopters. And so on their off time, they make some Obsessed Garage quick disconnects for me. So let's stick to our normal formula. I think this is the same as their normal wash, I would guess, but maybe it's slightly reformulated. Like I said, we'll get into the details with them. That's pretty thick. So let's think about this. If we're doing a bike here, so I'm going to try doing, because we don't need to fill up the whole foam cannon because it's not a car. I don't even fill up the whole foam cannon for my car. And so I think normally I do 150 milliliters, and then I do another 600 milliliters of water. So let's go to 500. So it looks like I did 50, 100. So I'm at like 75. I'm at like 75 milliliters of soap, and let's go to 500 milliliters. So let's go to 100. Let's do this. Just let's go a little aggressive. Let's do 100 milliliters of soap. This might be more heavily concentrated than other soaps that I've used. So the only way to figure out soap is to just trial and error it. And then we're going to do some in the bucket as well. So I'll dump a little bit on here. Yeah, this stuff smells pretty concentrated, so maybe that's why they're offering it in a small bottle here, but I always like to have gallons. So hopefully we can convince them to do gallons of that stuff. So I'm going to go throw this in my bucket, and I'm going to fill this up in my rinse bucket. So we probably don't need this much, to do a wash. I do know that the cycling stuff is going to look great on my stainless shelves here. This house is for sale though, so I'm not going to be here for very long. So this is a Prior P114 hose bib, and then my bucket filling solution. So we'll fill up our rinse bucket. And so I'm thinking, this is a 6-gallon bucket. Let's just do like 3 gallons of water, since we're only washing a bike, and maybe we'll wash both of mine. That ought to be good. Let's fill this up. I always like to wash out my funnel during the fill up process. Not waste any soap. Plus I can be a little bit more accurate. Let's use my med ball here. I did like a freaking 1,000 squats the other day. My freaking legs are killing me. So I'm gonna go to 500 milliliters. Now, my house has filtered water. I have a, thanks to an OG suggestion from an OG follower, I have a Gtechniq full house filtration system here. The new interim house that I'm moving to has a Culligan, so we'll see how that does. So this won't make us spot free like the deionizer will, so we could use deionized water if we wanted to. You don't need to be this crazy accurate here. And so then I've got this is my favorite part of the quick disconnect, is the cap. And we'll shake up our concentrate. Yeah, this soap is pretty heavily concentrated, but we'll see how it foams. I'm not even sure that we need to foam. So we're going to set this aside. We won't fill up our bucket. We won't fill up our soap bucket until we're ready to do that. So we want to rinse the bike off first. And then I think procedurally, we'd be better off messing with the drivetrain. We do the wheels first on your car. So we'll do drivetrain first on the bike. At least that's what I always do. Seems to make sense. Oh gosh, my legs. Let's rinse the bike off. Again, I have my 25-degree nozzle. So I'm dialed to 1,000 PSI at, this will do about 2.2, 2.3 gallons a minute on the AR. So always rinse, and the bike is pretty darn dirty. So actually, let me rephrase it. The bike is pretty dusty, and I've ridden it a couple of times since my last wash. So you can see water's beading. which means, you know, most of the washes on a bicycle, especially when the way that I'm using it on the I'm generally not going out in the muddy times. I'm generally going out in nice Florida weather, and generally not abusing the bike too much. It's usually a pretty simple cleanup. So most of the time I would just spray the bike off, probably hit it with a soap, and then just blow it off. But today we're going to agitate and clean it up and, you know, play with some of this stuff. So I would think logically, and we'll get some clarification on this, but I would think bike clean would be, if we needed to use an all-purpose cleaner, if your bike was really muddy or really dirty or really greasy or just jacked up, I would think that bike clean would be something that I would do to the frame and the components if necessary. So I would think bike clean, to me, I would think would be my wheel and tire cleaner, and then drivetrain would be my degreaser, and then the foaming soap would be what I'd do after. So what I'm thinking logically, you can kind of critique this idea, but let's hit our components here, or our chain. Oops, no, not bike clean. Got this backwards. Let's hit this with our drivetrain degreaser. We obviously need to put this in some press-all bottles, but this is a bottle. These are the bottles it came with. So I'm thinking, hit the chain with our drivetrain degreaser. Let that sit. Shake bottle well. Apply product directly to drivetrain components. Agitate with the bike detailing brush or soft bristle brush. Rinse residue on treated areas thoroughly. In extreme cases, repeat two or three times. So let's do that. And then I'm thinking bike clean becomes, this is my wheel cleaner, wheel and tire. What do you think? I think that sounds like some sound logic. And then I'll clean the wheels the same way I clean the wheels in my car, which would be to do now. I would think I'd want a couple of these brushes. One for wheels and one for the drivetrain, because once I get it all greased up, I think it would make sense for me to have another one so I'm not getting my wheels all greasy. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. This will be fun. I'm going to need to develop a procedure here. You're watching me think through this in real time. And I'm sure many of you are freaking out, why are you wasting time cleaning the tires? Well, my bike looks pretty more often than it works. So, sorry about that, but I would like to have just a cycling section at home. Even though I don't do it all that often, I get in periods where I'll go, you know, every week or twice a week, and then periods where I don't go at all. All right, so that's clean. So now I think the way to do this would be to not hit my drivetrain yet. Let the rinse off the wheel. Okay, let's do our front wheel here. Stop. I like this procedure. think this is a good procedure. Okay. This thing is in my way. I would need, so when I'm working on a bike, I need kind of a holster. There we go, that'll do it. Get you real mad if I start using some tire dressing on the top. Dang it! Don't do that. Idiot. Hit our center here. You can be sure to, if you guys have been doing bicycle maintenance more than I have, maybe comment a bit. Let's see if I jacked up the thing. Nope, okay, I'm safe. Comment about your procedure. Help me develop mine. This is always on my docket of something to develop a procedure for cleaning my bicycles. Now let's hit our drivetrain again, since we rinsed half of this off. Don't breathe in the chemicals like I just did. Yeah, I definitely want another brush. I like this brush though. This is like just the right amount of stiffness for this application. In fact, what I may want my race glaze brush for the wheels, and then this will be for drivetrain. Clean our sprockets down here. Rubber brakes. I think I'm using a Teflon chain lube, so it's not as greasy as normal. That's good. All right, so now let's wash it with our soap. So we got a quick disconnect here where the foam cannon in that I just shook it up one last time. Turn it to full on, and let's foam the bike. Freaking windy out there. Making a giant mess. Just hit the camera and everything. All right, so I used about 150 milliliters of soap, most of which I sprayed all over the floor and everywhere. So I would think, depending on how dirty your setup is, I would think you could, I know, you could skip some of this and just skip the bucket. Like, I don't think we even need a bucket, but I've kind of set it up already, so let's use it. Yeah, this soap is pretty hyper concentrated. I used a lot more than I needed. I don't like mitts, but I think a mitt actually will serve you well for this kind of maintenance. Now, because I've Invisiframe, I do want to be careful with the edges, not beating up my edges. Yeah, see, having this much water is not really necessary unless you're really, really dirty, which I'm not. Go in the rinse bucket, over to the wash. Seat up well. Yeah, so I think, you know, you could simplify this process by, I mean, you could probably just, you know, just wet this thing with the, skip the buckets. So I don't think we need buckets full of soap and water, unless we're really getting into, like if you just went mud bogging in the thing. I think that's the extent of what we need to do. Well, might as well, since I got all this crap out, we might as well set it aside here and do our second bike. Get in those areas. So this is where I think we need a secondary brush, because we don't want to be transferring drivetrain grease onto the frame of the bike if we can help it. I also would like a smaller pad, because that pad is too big. So a lambskin mitt, but I think a microfiber version would make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, let's rinse it. Yeah, I like the 25-degree pattern for the bike. You know, normally on a car I do 40-degree pattern. All right, let's dry it off. So I've got a Ego, this is the 580 version. I think. Ego blower. No, this is the 530 version. This is the little guy. Yeah, I have the 580 at the garage. And then this is our Apex Air Ego Stubby, which hopefully will be in next month. Let's try a damp drying aid type setup. So we need to shake this before we use it. So this says to spray it on the towel. Maybe I'll follow the directions for once in my life. We'll take care of the seat post after we're done here. Let's see how it does on my screen. Oh yeah, seems to okay. I like that drivetrain cleaner a lot, and I think the APC idea on the wheels is good. Of course, you could skip all this and just do the wash, the soap on the whole thing. But what's the fun in that? I like the idea of specialty products. Spend more money. Waste more money in my life. To me, this is therapeutic. This is fun. So I guess theoretically you could just use this stuff too if you weren't that obsessed with the condition, the paint condition of your bikes. You could just use this as a topper. This would help, you know, as long as you did regular maintenance and regular cleaning. I just always feel like if I spray it on a towel, I never get enough product on there. The other thing with the size and shape of most bikes, you know, you don't have to worry about water spots as much, I don't think, as long as you're not using really crappy water. So I think you can, it doesn't have to be as dry. You know, as you're worried about on, say, my GT4 back there. I probably, rather than using Tri-Clean, I would probably just treat the seat with this stuff, whatever this stuff is, C2V3. This dry carbon or bare carbon on this Yeti isn't the prettiest of carbon setups. You know what, I kind of want to put this on the surface as a drying aid kind of thing. This might be too much, but these wheels are coated as well with Gtechniq crystal serum light. Yeah, I think one of these towels would be sufficient to do the whole thing. In fact, I could probably do my other bike too. I just freshly did the stands, so I just did my tubeless sealant. I pulled the wheels and tires apart and cleaned out the gunk and refreshed it. Done. Nice. Looks good. Ooh, I got a little ding on my Invisiframe there. Then what I'll do as the bike ages, I'll very likely just pull off the Invisiframe and then ride without it. Gosh, you have to have ear protection with this thing. It's so loud. Yeah, that'll be good. So we'll do squirt. This is a wax and water emulsion stuff. This is what we'll do. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but this is how I normally do my chain. Some of you guys have turned me on to the idea of actually waxing your chain instead of using a lube like this. Doing a dry wax, you actually take the chain off and you dip it in wax. And you do that every half a dozen rides or so. That's an interesting concept. Again, I'm doing this cycling maintenance at a similar level to most of you in how you wash your car. You know, you just kind of wash the car and you don't obsess over it. That's why I'm excited about this Gtechniq stuff, and then I don't have to think about it. And we're good. Clean. This bike is done. Let's put it back on the rack and we'll get it out in 6 months or so. And I'm sure that makes you guys really angry. Well, while we're doing this, let's do the other one. We got a cleaned, protected, lubricated Yeti SB100. Nice. Let me put it back on the rack. I think this one's a little dirtier. Still not very dirty. So this was a screw up of mine. Oh yeah, a lot dirtier, this bike. This is like a 2012 I think this is a 2012 Giant Anthem 29er that I bought for adventure racing. That I had my bike guy dial it in for me, and I spent like $3,800 or something on it. But it has SRAM Eagle XX1, has XX1 crank. So this has a better crank than the other bike. I did carbon handlebars, carbon seat post.
About cars, not bikes.
I don't talk about bikes?
No, you talk about cars.
Cars?
Yes.
Sometimes I talk about bikes too. I'm talking about bikes today, KB. Gonna come out and say, yep. Let's rinse it off. Now very expensive. Oh, I did stands, aluminum wheels, and I thought I was cheaping out, but the drivetrain alone was like $1,800 or something like that. But now it's a nice aluminum bike. But I really only have this for friends. I should get a smaller. This is an extra large, and then this has Shimano XTR brakes, which I like a lot. I think they're great. And then these pants are freaking great. These are Arc'teryx. I should have put my water shoes on, my Gore-Tex shoes. Okay, there's the drivetrain stuff. Let's do the front first. I think it makes sense to do the front wheel tire first. Now, this bike is a lot dirtier in the cracks and things. So I think what I might do is do the bike clean stuff there. This is good. We're moving in a few days. Thursday, Friday, to the new interim house. So my bikes will be clean. I might clean a couple cars today too. Yeah, I think a Race Glaze XL brush is the way to go. This is a softer bristle brush. Can I go lefty here? Should I just go upside down righty? What do I want to do here with this thing? Yeah, if I was going to be like a major bike maintenance guy, I would have a whole setup figured out. Michelle drove this through some frickin' road paint one time. Ruined the whole frame. Kind of hurts holding this like a fork, like this. There we go. This is not tubeless. This one has tubes. Just because I ride this one even less. Well, I don't ride this one at all, but this one gets ridden even less than my Yeti does. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Race Glaze XL there. And then we use the stiff bristle brush on the other areas. This is the same chain that's on my Yeti, just not it's not the colored one. All right, so now I'm gonna use my bike clean in this area here. I need a smaller brush to get in there. Yeah, this mitt's way too big. It's like I can't get in any of the areas I want. It just kind of flops around. I can't tell you the last time I cleaned this bike. It's been a long time. It's Just rinse it, dry it. Yeah, this stand is definitely not made to get wet. It's not liking this. All right, it's good there. Let's put our pressure washer away. I'm done with this. Turn our water off. Turn our pressure washer off, or you can leave it on, either way. Turn our water out. Get the water out of our gun. What's up, buddy? Let me say hi to everybody. Let's put our proper size 40-degree nozzle back on. 45.0. Grab one of my multi-purpose towels right here. Put the PP plug back in so water doesn't dribble out. And we clean it off as we wind it back up nicely. I love this hose. Absolutely love it. It is beautiful. So this bike is not coated. So I don't think it is. I'm gonna dump this out. I'm gonna hit this bike with direct spray because this bike is not coated. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Matt, why don't you coat it for us? I don't want to. So we'll go from top down. We'll do this sealant addition. And use it as a drying aid to buff off here. And I'm gonna need a secondary towel because this one's too wet. Actually, this would be a really great bicycle towel. This is a 12 by 12 towel that I use for wheels on the car I have in the store. This would be great. So this will be my follow towel. This will theoretically add some sealant. I mean, this one's a bit too far gone to even worry about. It would make it easier to clean up if I took the time to do the coating. Feels good having clean stuff in your life, though. This bike looks pretty good still, though. And it's pretty light now. It still holds its own on the trail, I'm sure. Although I haven't ridden it. No one's complained about riding it, especially with the drivetrain being so dialed in. I'd say the bike is a good 3 pounds lighter than it is stock. Maybe I should transition to cycling maintenance. This is way easier than cleaning a car. That's why we call this Obsessed Garage, not Obsessed Cars. I like a lot of different things. I think we all do. Everybody does. Everybody should, with a concentration on clean. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on the Gtechniq bike line. My first use. We'll call this first use. We'll have some more sophisticated use. I'll have some more updates as the parts and pieces of it that I really like, the parts and pieces of it that I'd like to adjust, like for instance, adding a race glaze brush into the package. And yeah, as I take care of the bikes, I'm gonna get out and ride these things and get them dirty so I can clean them again. But thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of this Obsessed Garage thing. And I guess pretty soon in our next videos, I'm going to see you in a different garage, another garage project in a different house. This house is for sale. Hopefully someone buys it. And we're going to do another project and then another project and another project. But bicycle care is one of the things I've always been interested in. I'm thankful for Gtechniq and tackling this for us. And my hunch was right in that it works well. It seems like good stuff, certainly better than what's been available on the market, and I think that this, could be classified as world class for bicycle maintenance and care, and again, certainly you can use detailing products for it, but why not use stuff that's been vetted and tested by one of the world's best detailing product lines, at least one of my favorite. So thanks for watching. Again, if you're watching this in February or March of 2022, you can go to obsessedgarage.com. You can pre-order the kit, which is $250. That gets you a bunch of entries to win my E92, my 2013 M3 with Brembos and Recaros and amazing exhaust and carbon fiber plenum and intake and all that stuff. So anyway, see you soon. Thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. See you in the next one.